Hello everyone, and I hope I am audible now. If you guys can please confirm it in the chat box if I am audible. Great, thank you very much. So I requested students yesterday in a live session that if you want to understand that how we should read the things, how we need to understand them, and how we have to make the notes. So here I am today with the same topic which we discussed yesterday, which we planned yesterday, that you will read a chapter from 11th class NCERT of political science, the chapter on parliament, obviously it's chapter 5 legislature. So here we are today starting with the concept, and I will try to first make you understand that how you need to read through the book, from the book, and how you have to make your notes. And then after this you can understand. And in case you still find that yes, it is only and only through self-study that you can do it, we will still support you in whatsoever way possible it is. And if you think that this is a better option to take something from this institute, so we will give you a very lucrative offer today. We will give you a very robust plan where you can test the things, you can test the waters, you can have a real experience at a very throwaway price. Fine. So we are going to start the session now, and we are going to talk about parliament today, right? So first of all, friends, what we need to understand here is that parliament, when we talk about, is basically legislature, and there are basically three organs of government. Now, what are these three organs of government and what are the functions of these three different organs? So the three organs of the government are legislature, executive, and judiciary. Legislature, executive, and judiciary. Now, when I say there are three organs, obviously, yes, they have to do some different work, right? So the work of the legislature is law making. Law here means rule. So it is rule making. So the new rules, new laws, the legal system is made by the legislature, right? The legislature, which is parliament in case of union, in case of center, and it can also be the state assemblies, the legislative assemblies, where we have MLAs, they also make laws, right? So friends, I would request you to not write in the chat box for a while and focus on the class so that you can first understand the things and then you can ask your doubts as well. Now, when we talk about executive, the work of the executive is rule implementation. Rule implementation, right? When the rules have been made, how to apply them in the society. This is the role of the executive. And then we have judiciary, and the role is rule adjudication. Rule adjudication. Now, what is rule adjudication? Number one, whether the rules made by the legislature have been made in the right spirit or not. This is one. Number two, the way they are being implemented by the executive. Is it the right way to implement, right procedure to implement or not? Fine. So this is where we find judiciary as a important organ of the government. Now, when we have three organs, right? The three organs doing three different things. Now, here comes the idea of separation of power, or the idea of checks and balances. Now, what is this idea of separation of powers? Separation of powers, or the idea of checks and balances. So friends, the idea basically it originates to the age of enlightenment, that is the time from 1700s onward in the European history, and particularly in the society of France before the French Revolution. The ideas of enlightenment became very, very popular, and there were many philosophers who were giving new political ideas, social ideas, economic ideas, right? One such great name is the name of a French philosopher, Montesquieu, who wrote a very important book called Spirit of Laws, right? Spirit of Laws is the name of his book. Writer is Montesquieu, who talked about this idea, separation of powers or checks and balances. Now, what this idea is all about? What is the meaning of this idea? What is the implication of this idea? So friends, as we just discussed, there are three organs. There is legislature, there is executive, and there is judiciary. So there are three organs of government. Now, legislature is making rules, right? Rules are made, rules applied or implemented, right? And then rules adjudicated. Now, let's take an example. If the legislature has, such a control over judiciary, that legislature can do any wrong to judiciary or any damage to judiciary, or for that case, if executive can have any such control over judiciary that they can do, a lot of damage to judges. Now, how can you do damage to judges? How can you do this? Let's take one example. You are appointed a judge in either Supreme Court of India or in the High Court of India, any high court in the state, right? So you are appointed a judge. Now, obviously, the common people of India will have some problems against the government, and any day a bill has been passed, a rule has been made, a policy has been formulated, anything that will be done by the government, some people will have some problem against it. Now, all the people in India, the citizens of India particularly, we all have some fundamental rights which are considered to be very basic for our life, right? For a dignified life, man's life with dignity, right? So we need some basic rights like freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, and so on, so forth. There are so many things that we require to make our life better. Now, if government makes one such policy, which to majority of the people seems that it is a wrong policy, then it is not required in a democracy that we should go for agitation straight away. We can first approach the courts, and the judges will check whether the rules made by the legislature or the way they are being implemented by the executive is in the right spirit or not. And if the judges feel that it is wrong, then they can call it ab initio, null and void. They can, declare them null and void, unconstitutional, ultra vires. These are the terms written in the books, right? That means they cannot be implemented. They should not be implemented. Fine. Now that judges have to always check the working of the legislature, the way they are making the rules, and they have to check the working of the executive as and how they are implementing the rules made by the legislature. So judges need to be free and fair. They need to be impartial. They should not be having any bias in favor of the government in office. They should have that freedom. Now, how will they get that freedom? If as a prime minister or as president of India, I can threaten the judges. If you say no to any act that we pass, we will remove you from the office, or we can decrease your salaries, or we can transfer you from here to there. Then how can the judges be free and fair? How can they take the right decisions? To ensure this, we have to give security of job, or independence to judiciary can be given through security of their office to the judges. Now, how can we give that security to the office? Let's take one example. When we talk about appointment of the judges, right? So when we talk about the appointment of the judges, even though judges are appointed by the President of India, but the names must come through Judicial Collegium. Judicial Collegium. Now, what is this Judicial Collegium? It is a group of senior judges, the Chief Justice of India, senior most judges of Supreme Court. They sit, they discuss, they finalize the names of the people who are worthy to be appointed as the judges of Supreme Court or either high courts. So when the senior most judges sit, they discuss the name, they explore the list, they find out the right candidates, then they send the list to the president. Yes, you can appoint them. So it is not a prerogative of the president. It is not the prerogative of the executive that they can straight away appoint the judges. The appointment of judges is through the judiciary itself. There is a mechanism called Judicial Collegium, and this collegium then decides the names, and those people are only appointed as judges. So one security has been given in the shape of appointment that don't worry, the executive will not have a free hand or a free say to appoint judges of their choice only, so that they must not influence the judges to give wrong decisions in the favor of the government or against the people's interest. This is one. Now, second will be, the second way to influence the judges will be removal from the office. Removal from the office. Now that you have been appointed as a judge of either Supreme Court or any of the High Court, and if there is always a threat hanging on your head that, yes, if I will say something against the government of India or state governments or anyone for that case, so the prime minister or the president can get me removed from the office. Now, if I am always under a threat as a judge that I can lose my job, then how can I give justice? How can I deliver justice? How can I do justice? How can I be free and fair in my approach towards justice? So to ensure that executive has no right to remove the judges from their office independent. Otherwise, we all know that judges are removed from the office by the orders of the president only. Fine. Once the president signs the orders, only then the judges can be removed. But how can president suo moto or at his own decide this? So the procedure is legislature will take charge. Now, how legislature will take charge? In Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both the houses, we will have to secure majority of the votes in favor of the judge, against whom we have some allegations, against whom we have some problems, like this judge is corrupt, he is doing some wrong things, he is taking bribe, he is giving favors to some people. If we find that judge is doing something wrong, then Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, either of the two houses will start the proceedings. When they start the proceedings, now look at this. While reading the NCERT book, you might have skipped this point. Now you have to confirm it after explaining this point of NCERT class 11 chapter 5 legislature. I will ask you a question after explaining this. Then I will open the chat box and you will confirm whether I am right or wrong, right? So when Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, any of the two houses can start the proceedings for the removal of the judges, right? Any of the two houses, it may start from Lok Sabha, it may start from Rajya Sabha, whichever house starts the process to remove the judge, they basically frame charges against the judge. The framing of charges, that these are the problems with the judge, these are the wrong things that the judge is presumed or is believed to have been involved in, and that is why he is not fit for his office, he should be removed. So the first house will frame the charges, that these are the list of problems with the judge, and the second house will investigate the charges, that whether the charges are correct or not. When parliament is checking the things like whether somebody has done something wrong or not, this is called judicial function of the parliament, judicial function of legislature. Now here I open the chat box. Please let me know, could you read these lines in your NCERT properly? Judicial function of legislature. I have opened the chat box. You can tell me there. Great. Now, are you able to understand it in a proper way or not? While you were reading and while I am explaining, is it like something like makes sense to you? Harshita said no. So Harshita, you want to add to something? If I can give you mic, you can switch it on. You can tell me like where is the problem and how can I explain it better to you? If Harshita agrees, she can say yes in the chat box. I can give her the mic. Harshita Dwivedi. Harshita, I have given you the mic. You can switch on your mic and tell me like where was the problem so that I can try explain it in more lucid manner. If possible, please switch on your mic. Harshita, I hope you are not from some competitive institution just to come and say no to the things I am trying to teach to the students. If you are not from some other institute, if you are a genuine student, you must switch on your mic and ask your doubt. So great, Harshita. So you proved the point. Thank you. You can still stay in the session because we don't fear our competitors intruding into our classes to understand the quality at RAJ IAS and try to implement the same at their institutes. All right, friends. So removal of judges, appointment of judges is one such process where executive or legislature single-handedly cannot do anything. Neither executive nor the legislature can either appoint the judges or remove the judges in an easy manner. Now, there is another thing. If I have to give security to judges, the salary of a person is very important. If somebody appoints me a judge today and let's say they say that we will give you 1 lakh rupees per month, right? And once they appoint me a judge, and after, let's say, a couple of months or 1 or 2 years, there is a case in which the prime minister's office is involved, home minister's office is involved, somebody else's senior officers or senior minister's office is involved, and then I am the judge who is to listen to this case. I am hearing the case, and I may give decision against the minister or prime minister. And then there is a threat that if you do something like this, we will reduce your salary. We will reduce your salary. We will not let you work in the same capacity with the same salary. To ensure that judges cannot be influenced even in this way, the Constitution of India says that legislature can discuss the salary of judges. Legislature, that means parliament, can discuss the salary of the judges. It can increase the salary of judges. It can discuss and increase the salary of judges, but it can never decrease the salary of the judges. Salary cannot be decreased. Once appointed at a particular salary, you will continue to get minimum that much of the salary in future. They cannot reduce it. Fine. So neither they can appoint you directly, nor they can remove you, nor they can change your salary to your disadvantage. This way you give a lot of security of office to the judges and ensure the independence of judiciary, that the judges act in a free and fair manner. All right. So up to this point, I hope things are clear to everyone. Now, what we mean by separation of power, is it clear? Great. So friends, now we come to proper topic, legislature, right? I was trying to integrate some of the things for your basic understanding. Now, when we talk about parliament in India, first thing that we need to understand, there is president, there is Rajya Sabha, also called the upper house. Rajya Sabha is also called upper house or Council of States. Council of States. And then we have Lok Sabha, and Lok Sabha is called lower house or House of People. House of People. Now see, president is part of parliament. President is part of parliament, but not its member. President is not a member of parliament, but yes, he is part of parliament. Now, this fact is very important, very crucial to read and understand and write in your notes, because you have to understand, if they may ask which of the following is a part of parliament but not a member of parliament. Similarly, in parliament, there is a proper position for Attorney General of India. Attorney General of India. Now, he also is part of parliament, but not its member, right? So when they ask a question in your prelim exam, who of the following are the part of parliament but not its members? Here is an example of two things. Who of the following are part of parliament but not its members? Then the answer will be two things: the president as well as the Attorney General of India. Now, there is a third possibility as well. When the question comes like one only, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, all of above. We need to know what all other possibilities are there. So one more possibility is, now listen to this example very carefully, and then I will open the chat box where you can tell me, could you understand this properly or not? So what will be the third possibility? In our parliamentary democracy, in our system in India, there is a possibility that, let's say I am a prime minister. Fine. I am a prime minister. Usually I select my ministers from the members of parliament. Usually the ministers are members of parliament. Members of parliament, what we call them in short form, MPs, members parliament, right? So usually prime minister elects his ministers from the parliament itself. And when I say parliament, listen to it carefully. I am not saying that all the ministers must be from Lok Sabha. They can be from any of the two houses, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Now that I have 2 ministers or 1 minister from Lok Sabha, or let's say from Rajya Sabha, and for 15-20 ministers from Lok Sabha, then I want someone else to be a minister, someone else to become a minister who is not a member in any house of parliament. He is not yet a member in any house of parliament, but I want to make him a minister. So as Prime Minister, yes, I have a right to make anyone a minister in my Council of Ministers. I can make anyone a minister in my Council of Ministers, but maximum for 6 months. Maximum for 6 months. Within these 6 months, that anyone else who is not yet a member of parliament has to become a member in the parliament. Within 6 months of the appointment as minister, right? One person, any person can become a minister without being a member of parliament, but maximum for 6 months. That means there is a possibility at any given time that there is a minister sitting inside the parliament who is part of the parliament, because he is minister, he is part of the parliament, but he is not member of the parliament. He may sit inside the house, he may discuss things, he can answer the question asked, he can bring a bill, he can do anything in the parliament, but he is not a member of parliament. So within parliament, when I say that there are 3 persons, one is president, other is attorney general, he is the highest law officer, and third is a minister who is not part of parliament at that time. In that case, people like them who are part of parliament but not members, they are part but not members. That means they can do anything but cannot vote in parliament. Only and only members of parliament can vote in parliament. Others can take part in the proceedings. They can participate in the working of parliament. But if there is a question that has to be decided through vote, then these people have no right to vote in parliament. So here I open up the chat box. Please tell me, could I make you understand a concept proper today? Is it a better way to explain things and make students comfortable with the facts of polity? And there is a student, Suryavanshi, who has raised hand for quite some time. Please tell me what you want to ask. Suryavanshi ji, you have to switch on your mic if you want to ask something. You raised your hand. I've given you mic. So if there is any doubt in your mind, you can please ask it. Mohit, you can ask your question so that I can continue explaining the things. Suryavanshi ji, thank you very much. Yes, Mohit Shivam.
Sir, first of all, a very good evening.
Good evening, ji.
Yeah, sir, actually, my question is just like that. Who can fire a judge?
Who can fire a judge? Na? Nobody can fire a judge. Na? Otherwise, so somebody will come and fire a judge for doing something against the government of India. So that's what I explained, that a judge has to be removed through a procedure. And the procedure is, first, the 2 houses of parliament, one of the houses of parliament will frame the charges, other house will investigate the charges. If they find that the charges are proved right and the judge is proved to be involved in misconduct of his office, then they can propose it to the president that this judge is not fit for the job, remove him. Then judge will finally pass the orders and the judge will be removed. But president cannot do it himself independently. First, he has to get the support from parliament.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you most welcome. Mohammed Sahil. Yes, Sahil. Devinder Kaur, Attorney General, is the highest law officer, biggest lawyer of the government of India. That is Attorney General. Yes, Mohammed Sahil, please tell me.
Yes, sir. It is my question. What is Attorney General?
So you got the answer? You got your answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Achha, let me tell you one more thing. Even if you would not have asked this question, within next 10 minutes, I would have explained the meaning of Attorney General itself, right? So when you come for a class, a teacher knows that where you are missing, where you may find it difficult to understand a particular concept, and that is why a teacher can always give you an escape, give you that feeling of completeness, right? We know that where students can have a doubt, where students need more explanation, more elaboration, so we will do it for you. You need not worry about it. So guys, now let's try understand something today here. So first of all, let's try understand that how the parliament is constituted, how the members are elected, how they work, and how the government is formed. So this is the proposed new parliament vista, the new building, which is in news for both the good and the bad reasons. Fine. Now, first of all, we need to understand that there are two houses. One is called Lok Sabha and the other is called Rajya Sabha. I have already given you a plan for these houses, what all things they are known as, right? Now, Lok Sabha is directly elected house, directly elected by people, right? We all know that any Indian citizen above 18 years of age has a right to vote, and we go and we cast our vote and we elect our representatives. And when we elect our representatives, they become the members of parliament in Lok Sabha. Whereas Rajya Sabha is indirectly elected. Indirectly elected. Now, how it is elected, I will come back to it. First, we will talk about Lok Sabha. Friends, for elections to Lok Sabha, the general elections, we call them general elections, right? So when there are general elections for Lok Sabha, right, they happen every 5 years. Now, it means that Lok Sabha has a maximum span of 5 years. Lok Sabha has a maximum life of 5 years, but it may come to an end earlier. So when I say Lok Sabha, it has 5 years term, whereas Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, but the members are elected. Members are elected for 6 years, right? Members are elected for 6 years, but it is a permanent house, whereas Rajya Sabha has a term of 5 years maximum. Maximum 5 years. Now, there are circumstances where Lok Sabha may come to an end before 5 years, and there are circumstances where Lok Sabha may continue beyond 5 years, right? There are circumstances where Lok Sabha may come to an end before 5 years, where it may also continue beyond 5 years. Let's first understand the circumstances where Lok Sabha may continue beyond 5 years. So friends, if it has to cross the threshold of 5 years, it is only possible if there is emergency in India. Under Article 352, national emergency, there is a war-like situation, there is a big threat to the security of the country, then we cannot say, now let's dissolve the Lok Sabha, let's go for fresh general elections because 5 years have gone now. We cannot do it because we cannot elect the new Lok Sabha, and there is already a situation of emergency. We cannot even say that dissolve the Lok Sabha. To end Lok Sabha, we call it dissolution of Lok Sabha. So there is an emergency, there is a war-like situation. Let's take an example from Ukraine. Had it been a parliamentary democracy as we are, and had there been a war today, and let's say this is the last year of the government, last few months, and the new elections are due today itself. So do you think that the people of Ukraine will first go and cast vote and elect new members in Lok Sabha rather than fighting war against Russia? Right? So obviously, if there is an emergency, you cannot dissolve Lok Sabha. It will continue for some more time so that the outgoing government will then become the caretaker government. Caretaker government, they will have not many powers. They cannot take all the decisions. But yes, because of emergency, because of the situation of extreme exigency, we will give them some powers. All right, even if your 5 years have come to an end, please continue hold the powers in your hand. Please continue taking decisions on behalf of the people, because now it is in the national interest. So you understand under what circumstances Lok Sabha can continue beyond 5 years. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, friends? All right, so this is one, right? Now we have one more student, Sonali Kumari, who is asking a doubt here. Yes, Sonali, please tell me. Hanji, Sonali, please tell me what is your doubt? Your mic is on now. Please speak.
Yeah, sir. Very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ji.
Sir, I want to please revise it again.
Beta, if there is emergency, right, national emergency, in that case, we have to understand that Lok Sabha cannot be immediately dissolved even if the 5 years term has been completed. because you cannot go for new elections during the time of wars or emergencies. So you will allow the same Lok Sabha to continue for some more time, till the time the war or emergency is not over and new elections can be properly organized.
Okay, sir, got it.
All right, thank you. Now, this is a chance where you say that Lok Sabha can continue beyond 5 years. Now, where it can end before 5 years, it is no confidence motion, passing of no confidence motion. Now, to understand this concept of no confidence motion, write it on your notebook. Let me explain this to you in a very elaborate manner, and this will be the end of the session. Then I will tell you few more programs that we can run for you, right? But this will be the end of the session for today. Here I'm going to explain the no confidence motion in a most elaborate, most explanative manner, right? After that, you have to tell me that how beautifully and how confidently you could understand this today, the no confidence motion. So friends, when elections for Lok Sabha are held, as I said, usually they are held every 5 years. In India, we have a system called, single member constituency. Single member constituency. Now, what is constituency? Look at this map of India, right? Let's look at this map of India. Now look at this, right? Every state is divided into many parts. Every part itself is a constituency. Let's take an example. Just a moment, friends. Yes, for example, if I take the state of Punjab is divided into 13 constituencies. Now, what is a constituency? A constituency is an area from where people will elect one member to represent them. In Punjab, we have 13 constituencies. Different states, according to area, according to population, have different number of seats in Lok Sabha, right? So every 5 years, we hold elections in these constituencies. Now, when I said there is single member constituency, it means that from every constituency, X number of people can try and contest elections. Let's take one example. We talk about Gurdaspur, right? In Gurdaspur, there can be 5, 7, 10, 15, any number of people can contest elections. They can try to get votes from people. Let's say someone is from BJP, someone is from Congress, someone is from BSP, someone is from Akali Party, someone is from Aam Aadmi Party, someone is contesting election as an independent candidate. He is not from any political party. He has stood for elections to contest elections as an independent. So there are 5 people contesting elections, but we will choose only one out of them. Not all of them can be elected. So that's why we call it single member constituency, that as many as of the people want to contest election, they can contest, but people will only elect one person. Now, how to elect only one person? It depends on majority of votes, right? So one candidate who gets maximum number of votes in the area, that candidate is declared to be elected by the election commission. So who declares a candidate to be elected? It is election commission. But who makes these constituencies? The constituencies are not made by election commission, and it is not even properly mentioned in our NCERT. It is made by delimitation commission. Now look at this. What kind of question we can expect in prelim exam? Which of the following is a constitutional body? So election commission is mentioned in the constitution. So it is a constitutional body. But delimitation commission is not mentioned in the constitution. That means it is a extra constitutional body. It is extra constitutional. For your mains, you cannot say it is unconstitutional body. Why? Because if it is unconstitutional, then it cannot even survive. It is extra constitutional. It is not mentioned in the constitution, but it is indirectly provided for, and then the executive made a delimitation commission. The executive appoints a delimitation commission to make boundaries. Now, this delimitation commission recently was in news for the state of J&K after the division of the state, after abrogation of 370 article, and after making union territories out of J&K. Now there is a situation where the delimitation commission is working to make a proper shape for the different constituencies, right? So there is a delimitation commission, that is extra constitutional body. There is an election commission, which is a constitutional body. Election commission conducts the elections and declare the candidates elected, whereas delimitation commission makes the map of the constituencies. Now let's take this example. All over India there are so many constituencies. How many seats are there in Lok Sabha? Let's say there are 552 seats in Lok Sabha. Just a moment. Let's say there are 552 seats in Lok Sabha. So we will hold elections in 552 constituencies where people will elect one member each, right? Basically, this is the biggest number. Otherwise, when we will study in our advanced course, we will not talk about these 2 seats. Why? Because Anglo-Indians were nominated, and then some of the seats in Pakistan occupied Kashmir have been left vacant. So usually we talk about 545 seats, right? So in 545 constituencies, people will come, they will elect one candidate each, right? In all the states, there will be different constituencies from which people will elect one candidate each. As I've given you an example, Punjab elects 13 members to Lok Sabha. Now that the election has been done, people will come to Lok Sabha who have been elected. Now, on the basis of that number of seats that parties have got, let's say BJP got these many seats, right? Out of 543, they got these many seats. Then say these blue seats are for Congress. This is for BJP. This is for Congress. And then the other seats for other parties. Now, one party who has got maximum seats in Lok Sabha, a party that gets maximum seats in Lok Sabha, that becomes majority party. Majority party in Lok Sabha. Every party has a leader. So the leader of the majority party will become the prime minister. As Modi ji, our prime minister, respected prime minister, is leader of BJP. So if BJP got majority of the seats, then Modi ji becomes the prime minister. Done. So all of them, when they get, one party gets majority of seats in Lok Sabha, now that they have got majority of seats, they form the government, they become the ruling party. Ruling party is supported by whom? Ruling party is supported by majority of Lok Sabha. Maximum members of Lok Sabha either belong to this party or support this party, right? So what Lok Sabha gives to the government? Lok Sabha gives the confidence to the government that whenever we want to do anything in Lok Sabha, majority of the members are with us. We can pass a bill, we can pass the budget, we can take decisions, we can do this, we can do that. But in case many members of BJP, for example, unfortunately, it should not happen. Unfortunately, if many members of BJP find the policies of the government not up to the mark, if the members are not happy with the working of the government and they decide to leave the party or to resign from the party, in that case, BJP will lose majority in Lok Sabha. Any party which is in power, it will lose majority in Lok Sabha. Now that if they lose majority, they also lose confidence of the house. Then the opposition parties will have more members, and then they will bring no confidence motion that now Lok Sabha has no confidence in this government. We will not let this government work now because they do not have the support of the majority of the house. In that case, if a no confidence motion is passed before 5 years, then the government may collapse. In case of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji in the 1990s, when he became the prime minister, he had to resign 13 days after becoming prime minister because a no confidence motion was there. Is it clear, everyone? Great. So guys, this is how a teacher can teach you. This is how a teacher can explain you. This is how a teacher can help you understand the things, right? This is how your teacher can help you make proper notes. This is how a teacher can help you understand what kind of questions can be asked. This is how a teacher can tell you that how you have to find the right answers. All right. So At this note, now I take an opportunity to ask you that, guys, we basically at Raj IAS understand a very simple fact. And the fact remains that, for any professional coaching to start, any professional coaching, they ask fees from 50,000 to 1,50,000. Both the amounts are very heavy amounts. One, the fee, very high fee. Two, trust. Trust is very important thing here. Do I even know that who all are the teachers, how they teach? Are all the teachers equally good or not? Or is there like one or two senior teachers who can teach good things and who can teach better? And then there is a line of teachers who are not very competent, who are not very, experienced. And then because we have already paid the fees, then how can we trust them? How about the notes that they provide us? How about the tests that they arrange or organize? We have no idea. We just listen to people and take admission. To give students a very comfortable entry point, what we do at Raj IAS, we have a very uniquely crafted NCERT course. Now, what we do in this NCERT course, from class 6 to 12, all NCERTs, be it old or new NCERTs, all topics, history, polity, economy, geography, environment, science, world history, international relations, disaster management, society, ethics, from all different NCERTs, from class 6 to 12. Whichever topic, whichever chapter, whichever book is important, we pick up those chapters from those books. It is not a case of intellectual intimidation that we have to show you that, see, we know this much. We understand the needs of UPSC. So we keep the things crisp. We do not expand them unnecessarily or exponentially. We just keep them within a limit where it helps you to clear your doubts, to make you understand the very basics of your UPSC preparation, right? We run a 75 days course, right? 75 days course, which is live from 5 to 8 p.m. And along with it, it is also recorded in case someone misses a class, or even if you have seen the class live, you watch it live, you want to revise it afterwards. So you get access to live as well as recorded classes. Live classes continue for 75 days. And when the classes are over from our side, we give you 75 days more to see the recorded lectures, to revise them. So all in all, 150 days means 5 months of your access on our portal, not on YouTube, but on our portal, where you will register as our student. You get these 150 days of your classes. Now, along with this, what more we offer here is, it's not just the class. It's not just the class. It is explanation and dictation. So you make class notes, right? Flow charts and notes, right? Then we provide you printed notes in soft copy, PDF notes of all the NCERTs made in most beautiful manner. Then we provide you test series, NCERT based test series. How the test series go? Monday to Saturday, you have your class, and every Sunday we give you a test. Along with this, we support you with current affairs as well. So we provide you classes, live plus recorded. We provide you printed notes. We give you test series. We give you current affairs, right? All this comes at the price of 5,900 rupees, right? 5,000 is the fees and 900 is your GST, 18% GST. Now, when you pay this 5,900 to us and you start this course with us, within next 2.5 months, 75 days, you will see all the teachers talking to you. If I teach history, I will teach you history. If I teach geography, I will come and teach you geography. If I teach polity, I will come and teach you polity. And likewise, every teacher will come. Now you develop one faith or trust in this institution that all the teachers are equally good, right? You see all the notes of NCERTs, the quality of the test that we take, the quality of the current affairs that we give. So you understand that this institution is no bogus institution. It is no fake institution. It is giving us so much of value in the course that either you decide that now I am so strongly, capable that I can continue with my self-study. Now, because I've done NCERTs with some teachers, they have given me very good information, very good understanding of the needs of this exam. Now I can do it by myself, right? Independent or through self-study. Or otherwise you realize now that I have seen these teachers, how good they are. Now I can trust them and I can take your main course, 1 year course, full course, right? So this is how you can trust the teachers. This is how you can trust some institution. And when there is a trust, then taking that leap of faith with us, holding our hand, becomes easier for you. So to keep students on a very comfortable plan, we offer this NCERT course. And from this batch onwards, we are going to make one more addition to this. Earlier, we used to start this course with the class itself, day 1 and first class, right? But now in this batch, we announce a new scheme for you. Those students who will join it today, those students who want to join it today, they have to just send me one WhatsApp message on this number. I will send you the details of the payment, where you have to pay 5,900 rupees and how. And once you pay it, we will make a separate WhatsApp group for you. And in last 2 years, we have successfully conducted these NCERT classes where we have taught almost now 7,000 to 8,000 students. And the report of these students, the feedback of the student is phenomenal feedback, right? So once you pay this fees, you enroll in the class. The class will start from Monday. But now to add more value to it, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, for these 4 days, you will get one introductory class in which we will tell you the entire syllabus. We will integrate the syllabus for you. See, agriculture is to be done in history, agriculture is to be done in polity, agriculture is to be done in geography, agriculture is to be done in environment, agriculture is to be done for economy, agriculture is to be done in ethics as well, and there can be an essay on agriculture. For 4 days, we will be discussing the entire syllabus, 6 to 7 p.m. with you, right? Those only who will now join the course by paying 5,900. Saturday, we will give you current affairs class, right? And Sunday off. From Monday, your NCERT will start. So those who will pay today, they will get chance to attend these 4 classes along with the Saturday's current affair. And from Monday, our new NCERT batch will start. So those students who are interested to join the course, now they have to understand that what all are the benefits. All NCERT's class 6 to 12, be it old or new, right? They will be covered in the class. They will be explained in the class. The notes will be dictated, and even PDF printed notes in soft copy will be provided. Plus you will get test series, plus you get current affairs support, and to add on to it, 4 days of induction in which we will make you understand and integrate the syllabus for you so that you can grow in your confidence. So all this comes at 5,900 rupees, which I think is a very genuine investment for your dream, for your future, for your success. It is a very genuine amount. So those who want to join this course, they have to send me only one WhatsApp message on this number. And once you send me this message, I will share the detail of payment with you. Once you make the payment, send me the screenshot. And once you make the payment and share your screenshot with me, tomorrow morning, we will add you to a group. And once you are added to the group, you will get the details of the class. And then your success journey starts. All right. No. This is not monthly fees. This is one-time fees, 5,900, and that is it. 5,900 rupees, and you get access for 5 months. 75 days of live as well is recorded, and other 75 days of only recorded. You get everything in this 5,900 rupees, all the classes, all the notes, all the tests, all current affairs, everything. All right. So those who are interested can send me one WhatsApp message, and we will register them in our course. And from tomorrow, we are going to start this induction session with all of you. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the session. It was some kind of a good experience. So those who are interested can send me a message. And already I've started getting the messages on my mobile now. Thanks for this encouraging response, guys. All right, then. See you tomorrow. Let's get registered for the course. Bye-bye. God bless you all.